Weather Extra update for you. How are you doing, everybody? Hope all is well. All right. So, this morning, boom, heavy rain coming in, which was probably the best thing that we could have ever had happen. It was an awful morning commute for many of you. A lot of ponding on the roads. There was some heavy rainfall. There was even some severe thunderstorm warnings, mainly for counties in our southern viewing area. So like northern Coleman County, Marshall County, Blount County, fringe areas. DeKalb County never technically had a severe thunderstorm warning. It was a SWS. But we had some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall. Winds probably like 40, 50 miles an hour. Didn't have any reports of damage. There were some reports of some wind damage in Birmingham this morning, just south. It was like this bow echo, like almost like an extension out of like just a wall of wind and rain that went through areas just to our south, and the northern fringe of it clipped part of our viewing area. And then if you were north of that, it just poured all morning. Some areas picked up like 2, 3, 4 inches of rainfall. It was a gully washer. I mean, it was pretty bad in terms of rain. But now we turn our attention to what could transpire this afternoon, and it's really chilly outside. Like, it feels cold. I text Brad, and Brad's like, it's kind of cold. So I'm not so sure how we're going to pop this second round of thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center shifted the slight risk more south. They did that after the initial push of rain this morning. Brad did that last night, and I did it this morning not knowing he did it. And yeah, felt like this is all going to kind of shift to the south, but still keeping an eye on things. Let's go through the graphics. Huntsville right now, it was 58 when I was on air at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. It's 60 now. That rain-cooled air, keeping the temperatures down. A lot of cloud cover, too, so not much sunshine. I circled that. If you were watching this morning, I can always tell who doesn't watch and who does watch in the morning based on comments on Facebook. Tell me you didn't watch this morning's newscast by commenting something like that. But high top radar went down, I think it was at like 3:01 a.m. It has now come back, and I can get around it by looking at like Birmingham, and I can put it on like Columbus, and I can even go up to Nashville, and I can look at other radars to kind of give me an idea what's going on. I'm not worried about that. But you see the pink colors there to the west and out towards like Florence and Lawrenceburg, soaking rain. By our estimates on our rainfall totals, like radar indicated like 3 inches of rainfall. And then you see that big blob of like nothing near Stevenson. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the high top radar went down. So it's not picking up what really fell there. So what I did was I reached out to a couple viewers who have weather observation mechanisms in their backyard. A lot of them are digital. And many of them letting me know, like in Huntsville, picked up over 2 inches of rainfall. Scottsboro, 1.5 inches. I'm trying to think of some of my people who I send stuff to. Stan probably will be on. Maybe he'll let me know what he had in like the Hartsville area south of there. But anyway, many locations picking up 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. And there's that little blob. I can't use that graphic because it's useless because the high top radar went down. So it didn't get any data from there. What we have now is a scattering of unorganized showers on the radar. The way this plays out, if you are in northwest Alabama, like Florence, Shoals, even Colbert County, you're pretty much done for the day. Like, I don't even know if you get any more rain. Like, this is all shifting south and east. The cool air is really suppressing any kind of development. There's some moderate rainfall in Double Springs, but when you zoom out, it's just showers at this point. And I don't know if we're going to be able to juice up the atmosphere without any sunshine for the rest of the day, which makes this more like a rain event is what it looks like. And it looks like it's not even a rain event for all locations. It's like right along 565 and south and east will have the highest chance of having rain through the afternoon. And yeah, it's a good thing. But if your plans to take you south to Birmingham, there's actually a little cluster of some pretty heavy rain now. And there are more storms moving through Mississippi that are thunderstorms, producing some gusty winds. But once they get north, it should almost be like a wall of like fizzle is the way it looks like now. Just too much rain to overcome this morning, but we'll see how it plays out. We'll keep the 48 first alert weather day in for the afternoon, and there's still a chance for some storms. It's just, I don't know if we get enough in there to get the dynamics of any kind of severe weather. And it would be confined to literally areas south and east. So a look ahead, I'll show you what I'm talking about for 11 o'clock. You see the showers out there. Watch how they just mainly stay south and east of Huntsville. The development's not really there. It's very isolated. Could pop maybe one strong storm, but the core of the activity looks to stay down towards Birmingham and then blow up a bit along I-20. And that's about all we got. I mean, there it is right there, crossing into Georgia. Atlanta would have a better chance of having some stronger storms, say around 6, 7 o'clock. They had some strong storms this morning. It actually grounded flights in Atlanta on a very busy travel week, and not good news there. That's a big connecting flight, connection hub. And they had to ground flights when some thunderstorms raced through there this morning. And then it's just a matter of cooling off and drying out as we go into tomorrow. So what I did, the only adjustment I made in the temperature was I made Friday cooler than Thanksgiving Day. I think the coldest of air is Thursday night into Friday, but you'll notice it, you kind of notice it outside right now, but I mean really notice it tomorrow when we're only in the 50s. And then Turkey Day is chilly, stays cool right through Saturday, and then Saturday night into Sunday is our next chance of rain. I talked about this last week that when we flipped the calendar to December on Monday, there was a real high chance that there could be some rainfall, and it looks like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week looks to be really wet. Unfortunately, the Huntsville Christmas Parade is scheduled for Tuesday, something I look forward to every year. I love being part of it. I've been very fortunate since I moved here that every time I've been in the parade, it's been just cold and dry. Probably not the case this year. It's going to be some kind of rain. Whether it's heavy rain, I don't think it's severe weather, but it's something we'll be watching as we go into next week. All right. Oh, hi. Hi, Brett. How you doing? I see you on. I didn't see comments. I had the page too far up. Hi, Melva. Good morning to you. There's my good buddy, Stan Barbie. Stan, I just was talking about you. I said, Stan will come on and you let me know how much rain fell in his area. And sure enough, there he is. It's actually, and I don't want to give away too much weight, but he's in the Falkville area. And he had over 2 inches of rain, which follows right along with pretty much what everybody else has let me know. It was a very consistent rain across the area. A lot of 2-inch amounts, and some of the estimated radar shows closer to 3 or 3.5 in parts of northwest Alabama. So, a pretty good soaker. Hi, Kay. Thanks for watching. Hi, Roberta. Thank you for watching, too. Joyce, thank you for the relief of bad weather. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You have a wonderful Thanksgiving, too. 2 days away from Turkey Day. It's crazy. So, how many of you driving locally? How many of you flying? So, I have a traffic schedule shift tomorrow. Eric Burke is back. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of traffic on Wednesday because everybody takes that day off. So, and Matthew's doing a story about national travel. And I might just give some update hubs and stuff like that and talk about things locally, travel-wise. Maybe I'll zero in on ways to things that you need in your car. I don't know. I got to come up with something. Traffic's going to, like, locally is going to be like, It doesn't get busy until probably in the afternoon. And even then, most people who would be driving from point A to point B locally would probably leave, I would imagine, Thursday morning to be there for Turkey Day. So we always talk about, it's so funny because we always talk about, in every station I've ever worked at, is busiest travel week of the year. And it is. A lot of people going from point A to point B. A lot flying, though. There's some driving, but the ones drive are usually on Thursday. Some who fly out on Sunday previous before Thanksgiving. If you're lucky enough to have a job, you can take that much time off. And then I think what ends up happening, too, is it's not the drive to Thanksgiving plans. It's the drive home that is more difficult, because those of you who go 7, 8 hours away and you want to spend the whole weekend with family, what do? You come home on Sunday, right? Doesn't mean that everyone leaves on the same day, but everybody tries to come home on the same day. And that takes into consideration flights too. And our weather locally, after some rain this afternoon, and we dry out through Saturday on the 10-day forecast, if you're trying to come back on Sunday, there's a chance that we could have some heavy rainfall on Sunday, and that could maybe have an impact. Probably more driving than flying, but remember, that rainfall that's coming in here for the weekend, that's a big, big, big system. It's going to be tracking across the U.S., much like we have now. And there could be delays at other hubs, like some of the bigger hubs like Chicago, maybe Atlanta, maybe even like in DC where that's a pretty big hub. Pittsburgh could have a big hub. Pittsburgh's a big American Airlines, I do believe, hub. So anyway, something to consider as we go into this week. Renee says, it's cloudy in Port Mallard. Great. A lot of clouds. Very cool, too. Not much in the way of rain right now. We're good for a little bit. Keep an eye in the afternoon. I think this whole thing just plays down, but we'll keep an eye on it, though. Brad's coming in a little early today, and he's got to do some cut-ins, and he's got to do some updates at 2 o'clock. So it's just me and him today. So we're splitting the shift up, 12 hours, 12 hours. Brett says, I really need to get my digital weather station set up in the backyard. Brett, I had one, and I loved having it. And then mine actually got damaged from a thunderstorm. I don't know if it took a lightning strike or if the wind got it. I don't know. It never toppled over. I had it for like 10 years. And then I bring it to Alabama, and it lasts like 6 months. But I love having them. I need to get another one. And I think they're great. A lot of viewers ask me on which one to buy, and I always tell them the one that you can easily program and understand. And I have about 10 of them that I suggest that are not that expensive. And they give you some good data with temperature. And not only do they give you data with temperature and rainfall, but it actually stores it on the cloud, and you can actually go to this like website and you can access data on your own observations for like the past, I think it keeps the data for like 5 years. And then you can access it and say, hey, back, 4 years ago on this day, we had like 6 inches of rain in the backyard. And you can say, oh, I remember that. I had to call my insurance company because the whole basement and crawl space, well, not basement, a whole crawl space was flooded. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of techie for like something that's under like $50. Sometimes under 70, depends on which one you get. But if you already have one, you're good to go. And I totally get the slacking thing, my friend. I get it. I'm all about that. Joseph, you have safe travels up here. What am I doing for Thanksgiving? I'm going to eat a lot of food. Yep. Whatever diet I've been on, forget about it. I'm going to eat. Stan says, no plans. I did develop a little temperature with my sinus. Oh, well. Stan, I hope you feel better. I appreciate it. Even under the weather, you're coming on here and you're giving me weather updates, telling me how much rain fell in your backyard. That's why, Stan Barber, you're the coolest guy. I appreciate it. Good man right there. Sorry about your sinus infection, though. It's the worst. It's going around. A lot of people getting sick. You get a little fever with it, fighting off an infection. Got to get on the meds, feel better. It's tough. Seems like a lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people I talk to have not been feeling well lately. So, Shalane. I hope I'm saying that right. If I mess up last names, you all can yell at me. But if I mess up last names, that's excusable. If I mess up first names, yell at me. But I think it's Shalane. Still rainy in Dogtown. Woof, woof, woof for pain. Yeah, you still have some rain. I'll go back to the radar. Let me goof off a little bit back. How much time do I got? I still got time. Let me go back to the radar. I'm going to go back to the one that's like zeroed in so you can see it. So there you go. So there's a little rainfall right there. I still have it on BMX. I got to change that. High top's up and running, and I need to change that over. But yeah, you can see some showers there in Fort Payne. It's all very light stuff. Nothing really to write home about, but enough that it's still raining. Brett, if you have any questions, yeah, you can message me anytime. You go to my page and just write me there so I don't miss it. Sometimes if you write it on the 48 message, I don't see it. So if you go to my page and just write me and let me know, I'll send you a list. There's a ton of them that you can pick from. Some of them are really good. Some of them are a bit extravagant when it comes to those little backyard observations. Sarah is not on today, but Daniel, her son, is a big fan of weather. He's 10 years old and got him hooked up with something good. Joseph, I'm not cooking really anything for Thanksgiving. I'm buying everything like pre-made. I just have to warm it up. Thank you to that big, huge store across the street here that begins with a C. They just do everything. turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry, and they got everything. And I just warm it up in the oven, make it happen. Feeds 4 people, feeds 6 people, something like that. I don't know. Bring it on. All right. TVL starts at 11 a.m., which means I have to kind of skedaddle because I got to go get myself ready for this. Be on for 11 for that. New newscast, of course, with Gina Benitez and myself. We'll be on till 1. I'll probably stick around until Brad gets here just to keep an eye on things and babysit the radar, essentially. I think we're good, but if anything pops, of course, we'll bring you the very latest on-air, online. You can always download the WAFF 48 weather app. If you do have some pockets of heavy rain or gosh forbid, you have some kind of severe storm or something this afternoon, it will come up on your phone and let you know. Brad's voice comes on and there's a warning in your area. And it's very like, but then you go and look at it and you stay safe because you're keeping up with updates. That's what it's all about. So come check us out, TVL, Peyton Manning, myself. We got you. And Gina and myself at noon. Everybody have a fantastic day. Keep an eye on the radar, but I think we're going to be okay with this one. Talk soon.